Watching the show? Show your support by using the hashtag support ROTTMNT. Tell Nickelodeon we don't want them on Nicktoons Network. We want them on the main network. Show your support for the show as well. I don't care how many times I'm going to be telling people this. If you have not been watching this show, this episode will most likely convince you otherwise. I am MegamanNG. I welcome you all to another Rise of the TMNT episode review. We got a 30-minute one, and as such, this review is a little longer than it should. Today, we're talking about episode 11 of season 2, Battle Nexus, New York. I'll provide a summary, as well as some of the main points. And let me tell you, this episode was damn good. Let's get started. It starts with a typical normal day as the Turtles, Draxum, April, and Splinter are off on a scavenger hunt throughout New York City. Sorry, I fibbed. But things start getting dark. Why? Evil is abound. It covers the city in darkness, and it's then they find that Big Mama is behind this. She announces the Battle Nexus, New York. As for the others, they're in a pocket reality, unharmed. But for how long? Can the Turtles come out on top in this Battle Nexus and save their friends and everyone in New York? I mean it. If there is any reason why you should watch this show, this episode and a few others will more likely convince you why. But yeah, new episode, new review, and this is the third and last of the new episodes that have come out by Nickelodeon. Not only that, but it's a 30-minute one. When this happens, you know good stuff's gonna go down. Because I also feel that this is where their animation is at their best. Basically, Big Mama has turned the entirety of Manhattan into her Battle Nexus. And the Turtles have to not only work together, but team up with a few other villains to escape the Battle Nexus and win. That's pretty much the whole gist of this episode. And there's also a subplot where Splinter, April, and Draxum, along with a foot recruiter for some odd reason, find a way out of the little mini prison they're in, and hopefully stop Big Mama. Yeah, it's happening. This has been mentioned many times throughout the series, but now we actually get to see it happen. The Battle Nexus has begun, and you can tell that Big Mama's pulling the strings. It's no holds bar here, and what makes it even worse is that each of the Turtles are teaming up with villains that have crossed paths with them many times, like Meat Sweats, Hypnopotamus, Ghost Bear, and one of the mutant crab brothers that appeared in a previous episode. To say that they can't work together is an understatement. I'm serious, because let's just say that they don't have a choice. And yeah, Raph and Ghost Bear pretty much learned the hard way. We do get some debuts, and it's mostly on the opposition that they have to fight, such as a giant troll with a club, and Phoebusbana, Sprite, and Cortex. Sprite and Cortex are the only two mutants that have voice roles. Cortex is voiced by Eugene Bird, while Sprite is portrayed by Zelda Williams. Not bad, I find it to be okay, and I find it acceptable at best. But what I really feel about this is that, yeah, the animation, I've been praising the show's animation since season 1. And sure, season 1 did have its issues, but when it counted, the animation was top-notch. Here, however, these guys nailed it. I've said it many times, and this episode, you can see why. I love every single bit of it. Whether it be the fight scenes, or the hilarity, or even the moments where things get really tense. It's just so good. Although, the one with Don and Hypno is just as hilarious because Donatello is reduced to chess pieces, and Hypnopotamus tried to find a way to outwit his opponent in chess. Not that I have a problem with it, but I find it to be a bit more hilarious to say the least. As for Big Mama, however, she's anything but fair. Yeah, she's the big bad for this episode, and she pretty much had the entirety of New York be used as a Battle Nexus for them to fight, all so that she could supply the game. And yeah, let's just say that things don't go her way, but when you deal with 4 turtles that have their own ways of getting victory, yeah, expect a fight. And a fight we get, especially when Big Mama brings out some hooded force. And eventually, when Draxum, April, the recruiter, as well as Splinter get out, they all had to work together to stop that threat. But the recruiter then realizes who he really is. And yes, it's the Shredder. Turns out Big Mama has been putting the Shredder on a tight leash. And you actually see why. And it follows for some of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in an episode. It's insane, yet awesome. It is without a doubt one of the best this episode, or rather this season, has to offer in terms of animation and action. People complain that the show isn't to their liking because of how different it is, how it's similar to Teen Titans Go. And it's stuff like that where I feel that the show suffered from, because the negative word of mouth was what convinced Nickelodeon to have it shuffled off the Nicktoons network. That and low merchandise, because part of me just gonna want to buy Rise of the TMNT toys just to show my love and support for the series. Believe me, there's a reason I've started collecting Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger toys, and I'll have a video talking about it. But anyway, I have to disagree with it because I feel that this stuff like this is where the show is at its best. Season 1 did have some good moments, some funny moments at that, but I feel that Season 2 is when things got really serious, and that's when it's at its best. And it seems that learning that during this, like I said, during the fight, Big Mama's been manipulating the Shredder, pulling the strings thanks to a ring. And when the recruit found out about this, she was not happy. In fact, she was willing to betray the others just so she can get her hands on the ring and control the Shredder. And yeah, that actually happened at the end of the episode. Because during the fight, the ring falls, and guess where it ends up? Although I will have to say that scene with the recruit having that little troll face and her moving around with that, like that, it was absolutely funny. That made me chuckle a little bit because even during the more serious times, they really know how to add a bit of sense of humor. And that made me laugh. I really mean it. I'm going to state this really clear right now. Also, by the end of the episode's end, guess what? The recruiter gets her hands on the ring, and with it, she controls the Shredder, which actually spells doom for everyone. Basically, Splinter was able to form a portal to get them out of there. And you want to know what the really weird thing is? Yeah, Splinter does care for Big Mama. Even after all that, he has a soft spot for her. It doesn't mean a thing now that the recruit has control of the Shredder, and I'm going to state this right here and right now for the sake of the entire series. I think we should be referring that foot recruit that's voiced by Zelda Williams as a different name. Do you want to know who that name would be? Karai! That's right. Rise of the TMNT, I feel that this recruiter is in fact Karai. And yeah, this is Rise of the TMNT's version, and I know for sure that she and the Shredder are going to be a big threat. One that will not only bring the Turtles to their knees, but all of New York. I can't even do this review justice. This episode is awesome. It's awesome on so many levels, and I can't say enough how great it is. Everything about it is awesome. The animation, the action, the humor. Yes, there were a lot of moments that were really funny, and I liked how it balanced things up with the action, providing a perfect balance, as all things should be. If you have not seen this episode, by all means do it. I mean it. Now, if this isn't enough to convince you guys to support the show, I don't know what will, because I've been detailing this so much. And I'm going to make my point be proven. Rise of the TMNT has amazing animation, but it's a shame not many people got to watch it because Nickelodeon's management are sketchy at best. That they shuffled it off the Nicktoons network. And I already mentioned the reasons why. Lower viewership and poor toy sales. And because of that, they let it to rot. And now people are actually seeing how good it is and giving it a chance. Thankfully, there are many ways you can support this show, and there are many ways you can actually watch the episode legally. I recommend that you do that. I recommend you buy the show online, whether it be on YouTube, iTunes, Amazon, I don't care. We need to tell Nickelodeon that this show deserves more appreciation, and more specifically, that it should be treated with respect. If what I say in this review won't convince you to watch this and support the show, I don't know what will. Because if this series ends up getting canned after 2 seasons, I will be boycotting Nickelodeon and never reviewing anything from them ever again. That would most likely include Power Rangers Dino Fury. Because Nickelodeon would promote the show to high heaven, yet they wouldn't promote Rise of the TMNT because they feel it ain't worth it. They're run by idiots, even with new management, and their decisions are just messed up and questionable at best. My final rating for this is a perfect, without a doubt, 10 out of 10. If you haven't watched it, what are you waiting for? Watch the episode now. You're not going to regret it. Believe me, everything is just so awesome, and it sets things up nicely for how the rest of the season will play out. I'm hoping that we get more, because Nickelodeon, if you screw this up and cancel this show, there will be hell to pay. That I promise. So yes, that is it for this review. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot to me. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click this bell. I cannot stress it enough. I will continue to review this show, and I will continue to praise the show for how good it is, because it is awesome. And if you're not giving this show a chance, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Watch it now. You won't regret it. Trust me, some of the episodes you can watch for free right now on YouTube. If that isn't enough to convince you, I don't know what is. But I've said enough. Please support this show. Use the hashtag #SupportROTTMNT. Tell Nickelodeon, especially to their current management, that this show deserves to be treated with respect. That this show has a fan base that loves it. We want it on the main network and not shuffled off to Raw on Nicktoons Network. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Cowabunga!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, using the half shell. Rising up against evil in the city green. Rappers ready for a fight, Leo's making a scene. Like he's got mad skills, Johnny rocks machine. With each other they discover their destiny and rise. Cowabunga! Rise up.